Good evening. 1,000 jobs are to be lost at Wolverhampton City Council in the next 18 months. It's part of a range of measures to try to save nearly £89 million.
Workers were called to a series of special meetings today to hear the news. The announcement was made on the same day that new figures show that unemployment in the West Midlands is still higher than the national average.
We'll have more on that later, but first, BBC WM's political reporter Susanna Mendonça has the latest on the Wolverhampton job cuts.
They piled into this building several times today to find out just how many of them the City Council plans to axe. The figure, an eye-watering 1,000 jobs to go by 2015.
How do you feel as somebody who might lose your job?
A bit gutting. It is gutting, but we'll just have to wait and see.
We knew something was going on, but we didn't realise there was going to be so many, so it's a bit daunting.
I think it's part of the way the government want things to go. Certainly not the way the council, I don't think, want things to go, but they're between a rock and a hard place.
For the people leaving this meeting, it was the news they didn't want to hear. But councils like Wolverhampton are facing difficult times, and that means tough decisions.
The man at the helm of that decision says his hands are tied because the City Council has to find £89 million in savings by 2019 because of cuts in central government funding.
We're talking about people's livelihoods, potentially 50 families in every ward in the city losing an employee, losing an income. And just to put it in context, we've spent a lot of time in the last 2-3 years working with our colleagues on Staffordshire County Council to secure the inward investment of Jaguar Land Rover with 1,400 new jobs. In a day, what we've had to do here could negate that. It's that serious.
But the local Conservative group says it's the Labour-run council and not the government that's to blame.
We were the first to freeze council tax without cutting anything, and we done that and we're saving the money. Labour's come back into control, and right away they are back up to what they're very good at doing, is spending the money, but not looking to see what the consequences are.
The argument over spending versus cuts is one that's seen council workers in protest across the Midlands. But trade unionists have criticised the way Wolverhampton has dealt this latest blow.
Although we know that local authorities are very much under the cosh, there's been no consultation on this with Wolverhampton Council at all, and the first the unions knew about this was from telephone calls from the council yesterday. Well, that's not good enough.
And there's more uncertainty ahead as staff still have a long wait to find out which of them will go. Susanna Mendonça, BBC Midlands Today, Wolverhampton.
So a really worrying time for public sector workers, but a slightly different story.